In Lystra, Acts 14:8-28. So in Lystra, there was a man incapacitated, and then Paul was looking at him intently and saw that he had faith to be made well. So, not sure what that meant. Maybe he can do kind of like a scan, or the Spirit gave him wisdom to see faith in his mind. Not sure, but he knew that this person had faith. So it kind of affirmed my understanding that when you need to have faith to be healed, you need to be obedient to what God has called you to do. Even with a simple command like stand up and walk. And so after that, that happened. And then he said to stand up. The man did. The man leaped up, actually, and began to walk. Then the crowds were thinking that they are Zeus. Barnabas was Zeus and Paul was Hermes. They were trying to sacrifice and like worship these people, but they tore their robes and say, we are just like you, we are human. They need to worship the living God who made the heaven and earth and the sea and everything that is in them. And the thing that was interesting to me is that the living God, in past generation, he permitted all the nations to go their own ways. Yet he did not leave himself without a witness, and that is that he gave you rain from heaven and fruitful season. So he was good to both the Gentiles and the Jews, even though he really focused on the Jews and their salvation first. I think that is because up until that point, everyone who dies will go into a place like a holding place. Only when Jesus came did he kind of abolish that place because he conquered death. I think that is the case. I'm not sure. It's just my internal thoughts, not really backed up, except for the story of Lazarus and the rich man. And then after that, but then the Jews from Antioch and Iconium, they actually won over the crowd. Then they stoned Paul. They dragged him out of the city thinking that he was dead. The disciples stood around him. He got up and entered the city. I don't know if they were praying or they were just looking at his body thinking, what do we do with this? But God raised Paul from the dead. That's what I believed. He probably had a near-death experience, but I'm not sure about that. And then, so then they went right back into the city, made a good number of disciples, and they encouraged the disciples. They said that it is through many tribulations that we must enter the kingdom of God. I think for me, I had it very easy compared to these disciples, and especially Paul. Then they sailed to Antioch. Then they report all the things that God had done with them and how he had opened a door of faith to the Gentile. And they spent a long time with the disciples, probably to strengthen them. And Paul almost died for his faith. And the crowds, you can see how fickle people are. One moment they were like trying to worship him. The next moment they were trying to stone him.